Thank you so much for coming today. Thank you wherever you are, wherever you're watching this channel, The Physics Mindset, which is based on giving you the updates and the information on technology, electricals, solar, and electronics. That's our base, and it is the base of all technologies, because all technologies talk about electronics, electrical, and solar engineering. If you want to go to the moon, that is talking about solar. The energy which takes you is solar system. The people who are the astronauts on the moon, they stay there because of the solar system which supplies them with power. The inverters, because there is no cable which goes there. So they had to use the inverters with the panel system, the big panel system there in the airspace, so that they can connect to the batteries. Now this channel today, I dedicate it to Mr. Cowley David, a physics mentor who mentored me in electronics, solar engineering, and electrical at NVI Institute Vocation. Thank you, Mr. Cowley and family. Today, I'm giving you, we are starting with our system, the solar. The solar topic start. We are going to start with the solar system. And before we go much in solar, we need to know what is solar. What is the use of solar? Okay? And how comes that solar can supply power to our households or industries or public lights? What's the use of this solar? People, long time before solar came, electrical. Let me give a small hint on this. Electrical was a bit expensive to transport to some areas, in rural areas, and it had difficulties in materials and transportation. You may find some areas with high altitude, those are mountains, and it is very hard to put their electrical poles or overheads. And some rural areas, they end up having no electricity. Though in urban areas, some electricity was there, but it was a bit expensive also. To own electricity in your house, you need a meter, and you'll be paying some costs to the authority of electricity, which are supplying you with the electricity, the distribution company. Now, some engineers came up that how can we use the sun to generate electricity in our households and factories and security lights to save some of the electricals, okay, to save some electrical costs. Yes, they sat down and they said they solved the problem. And one of them, and a group of them, they came up with a solar cell. Let's also look at the solar cell. What is a solar cell? A solar cell. Some chemists mixed some solutions to make a solar cell. They used a semiconducting material, which is known as a silicon. Silicon is one of the semiconducting material which is used in a solar system or solar panels to manufacture solar panels. Okay? They said, let us first manufacture a cell, and this cell is from a semiconducting material which is a silicon. Okay? This cell, it was manufactured or chemically mixed with the use of a silicon material. Okay? Now, after getting the silicon material, they formed a solar cell. Now this solar cell is like this. You'll find it on the panel. If you observe a panel, you'll find something like this. Okay, these are cables connected inside. This is our solar cell. Let's take as this to be our solar cell. A simple cell like this, our solar cell. Okay, because on the panel, if you see the panel, a solar panel or a solar module, we shall see the difference between a module and a solar panel and an array. Some people call it they call an array or solar panel or solar module a panel, but they are different. If as we are going to see technically, so that you will know the words you use, a technical word where necessary. That if you're using a panel, or you're using a solar cell, or you're using a solar module, or you're using an array or a PV system. Okay, let's come back on our cell. Okay, this is the cell which is manufactured in a factory, right? From the engineers who are interested in producing solar systems. This cell, it produces very little voltage. This cell, which they made from the silicon, it produces very little voltage, which is how many voltage? It produces a half volt. A half volt. It produces a half of a volt. Okay? Now they said this half of a volt, it cannot light a household. It cannot light a TV. You cannot switch on the TV. You cannot use on the radio. You cannot use to charge our telephones. You cannot use to light the bulbs, the security lighting. They again sat down as a committee, electrical engineers committee, the conference. They came up with, what if we combine these cells, the silicon, the solar cells? What if we combine them in series? What happened? Because if you combine something in series, it is additional. You add 1, 2, 3 volts. If you combine a half, another half, you get 1 volt. Okay? Then they said, let us try this. They combined this. This was called a solar. This was called a solar cell. A solar cell. The first cell to be manufactured with the use of the silicon material in solar. We come slow to understand the solar panel and the solar system engineering. Now, after they produced a cell, they combined these cells. Let us say that this is our one cell. It has the wires which are outputs, a negative and positive. They combined another one. This is another cell, negative, positive. They combined another one. This is another cell, negative, positive, negative, positive. It has 2 terminals, negative and positive. The output and input, negative and positive. Okay? Now our cell has a negative terminal plus a positive terminal. Okay? We go slowly here, we understand very well how the panel came up to be, the way you see it on the roof. How did it came up to be like that, so that it produces the voltages to charge our batteries? There we are coming. That's where we are coming. Now this solar cell, after combining them in series, they got one cell, they combined, they did positive on positive, negative on negative. Then we have then we shall be having a negative, which is output, and a positive, which is output. Now the combination in series of cells in series is what we called a solar module. Is what we called a solar module. These are the technical names in solar. Is what we called a solar module. Solar module. Now we are on solar module. We have got the cell. After manufacturing the cell with the help of a silicon material, they said, let us combine these cells, and they combined the cells in series, connecting one cell to another to another. And this cell, they have now, like, let's say 4, 5, 6, but here I've represented 3 to represent a number of cells, okay? Because this 1 volt is very small, a half volt is very small to light our systems in the house. Now they are trying to make a panel. We are coming how the panel came in. After making a solar module from a solar cell, we got a solar module. Technicians, if you say that the solar module is faulty, this is the solar module. The cells connected in series. Check the cells. Count the cells. You will see each cell. If you observe the solar panel, you will see a cell 1, cell 2, cell 3, with connection, with a copper connection in the middle. Let's go. After getting this solar module, now they said this solar module is producing, let's put 30 of, they calculated if you put 2, you get 1 volt. If you put 3, then they ended up saying on the solar module, if you connect 33 to 36 cells, okay, this number of cells 30 to 36, it will charge our 12 volt battery. It will charge our 12 volt battery. You know, the batteries are measured in 12 volts. 12 volts, 6 volts, and 24 and above. But if you get into our car batteries, you'll find 12 volts and 75 ampere hours, 80 ampere hours, 120 ampere hours, 100 ampere hours, AH is the ampere hours. We shall come to that. They found out that 33 to 36 cells will work. Okay? 33 to 36 will work to charge our 12 volts. And the best number of cells, if you can count your panels to charge very well your battery, it will be 34 cells. Count the battery before you count the cells before you buy a panel. You will see that if they are 34, this is best for my 12 volts to be charged fully. Don't just go on market and buy a panel because you have seen something look like a panel. You buy. They are different. We're going to see the different panels. But first, technically, count. If you have a 12 volt battery, you want to light your TV, your radio, your lights, and charge your phones. First, look at the panel. Count the cells inside. The cells will look like this. If they are combined, they will be combined in series. And then the name of those, it will move from solar cell. into a solar module. And that's when you'll find our solar module like this, with solar cells inside. I think you have seen this before. These are solar cells, solar cells, solar cells, solar cells, solar cells. Here we shall be having a positive and a minus. Okay? Because these panels, these solar cells like this, let me use blue. These panels like this, solar cells inside the panel, the solar module. This one becomes a solar module. Solar cells, solar cells, solar cells, solar cells, solar cells. Now they are connected in series. You'll find them connected in series like this. Two cables. Positive will come to positive and negative will go to negative. And this is the solar panel, the solar cell panel, which you see on the market, which most of you call it a solar panel, but it is a solar module. If you go on the market, technicians, that's why we brought this topic, to teach you the terms to use on the market. Don't go and say, I want a solar panel. We're going to see the word solar panel, what it comes in. Just go and say, I want a solar module. A solar module is a combination of solar cells in series. Okay? Now, the correct number, always look for, count these cells, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 12, until 34. Until 34. 34 cells in one panel, in one module. Yes, 34 in one module. 34 cells in one module. This is one module. It will charge your battery, your 12 volts battery, fully very well. You know, also the battery, to get fully very well, or if you want more electricity, it will depend on the size of the panel. When you get a big panel, a big solar panel, when it is big, okay, like 2 meters, 1.5 meters by 1 meter, this solar panel will be having a very big surface area, so that when sun hits these solar cells, which are made from silicon material, they will produce electrons or electricity, which will go into our households. We shall reach there. Now, these solar panels always count when they are 24 cells. There are solar panels which have 17 cells, or less than 34. As we said, there must be the proper solar panel is from 33 cells to 36 cells. So if your solar panel fits between the 33 to 36, then that is a very good solar panel for you to charge your 12 volts battery. And mostly count 34. 34 is very nice. Okay? Okay, now, after getting this solar, combining these solar cells, and they got a solar module. Now, let us see the name solar panel came from. After getting this solar module, this is our solar module. Okay? Now, the solar module, let's remove this. This is our solar module, which you normally call a solar panel. It is not a solar panel. A solar panel is a combination of solar modules connected in series and parallel, either series or parallel. Okay, that is, the name changes from solar module to solar panel. If it is one like this, you call it a solar module. Master these names. If it is one, you call it solar module. If there are more than one, you get this solar module, you get another one. Let me remove this. I think you are getting. If you get another one like this, another one like this, connected, in series. Then inside we shall have our solar cells. Okay? We shall have our solar cells. Solar cells connected in series. Okay? Let me use this. Okay. These are solar cells connected as this one, the first one. Okay. These are solar cells. I'm drawing like this to save time. Not a perfect picture, just to save time. We have our solar module. Now 3 panels. They have positive output and negative. A positive wire and negative, because they are connected to 2 wires in series. When you get this solar module, which you call a solar panel, it is called a solar module, which is one like this. You get one solar module, you get another one solar module, you get another one solar module. When they are more than one, or even though they are 2, they change the name from solar module to a solar panel. Now this becomes, all this becomes solar module. No, solar panel. If you combine these 3 solar modules, you get a name changes to be a solar panel. And if you see a house like this, it has 2 solar modules. Okay, and the sun is here. The sun rays will hit the solar panels, and these solar modules will become to be called the solar modules. I mean solar panels. From solar module is the one, then solar panel there are 2. 2 solar modules, they become solar panels. The name changes from solar module to solar panels.